In the U.S. state of Colorado, the state Supreme Court has ruled that Donald Trump cannot be on the state's presidential primary ballot. Reuters correspondent Diane Toh reports the court is basing the decision on a post-Civil War federal law and his role in the 2021 Capitol attack.
Section 3 of the 14th Amendment bars officials who have engaged in insurrection from holding office. Trump is now the first presidential candidate in history to be disqualified from the White House under that rule. The majority justices acknowledged the judgment was uncharted territory, but said, quote, "We do not reach these conclusions lightly." Trump's campaign said they will appeal the ruling at the U.S. Supreme Court, calling it flawed and undemocratic.
Reuters correspondent Diane Toh, who says the case was brought by a group of Colorado voters backed by a nonprofit called Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. The European Union reached agreement early on Wednesday on new rules designed to share out the cost and work of hosting migrants more evenly and to limit the numbers of people coming in.
As of this morning, at 8 o'clock, we do have the agreement on this holistic European framework. This is a proud testament to the fact that Europe can deliver solutions on issues that matter to the many. And this is the case on migration.
That's European Commission Vice President Margarita Chinas. Representatives of the European Parliament and the EU government worked overnight, all night, to reach the agreement on this accord. It takes effect next year. This is VOA News. Hamas's top leader is in Cairo for talks on the war in Gaza. Ismail Haniyeh's visit Wednesday, part of a flurry of diplomacy aimed at securing another ceasefire and hostage swap. The militant group is putting up stiff resistance to Israel's offensive. Hamas is a U.S.-designated terrorist group. The presidential and legislative elections underway now in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Reuters correspondent Alice Rizzo reports the campaign leading up to the election was marred by opposition allegations of fraud, electoral violence, and logistical setbacks which would prevent people from voting.
Voters in the capital Kinshasa and in the eastern city of Goma waited outside polling stations, but delays were reported in several towns due to absent equipment and voter lists. Ngoyi Mdundu arrived early to vote in Kinshasa.
We've been here since 5 a.m., but so far nothing has started.
At stake is not just the legitimacy of the next administration. Congolese election disputes often spark violent unrest with potentially far-reaching consequences.
Reuters correspondent Alice Rizzo, who says presidential candidate Martin Fayulu branded the country's general election as total chaos. Surrounded by destruction, people shelter in frigid temperatures high in the mountains of northwest China following an earthquake. AP correspondent Charles de Ledesma has more.
Earthquake survivors in Dahidiyah mill around after spending a freezing night in tent shelters, retrieving some belongings with his wife from the ruins of their home built 6 years ago in Yangwa village. Hang Zongmin says, "Look at this. My house turned into this overnight." Houses caved in and crumbled in the Monday night earthquake that killed over 130 people and injured more than 900 others. Most of the casualties were in Gansu province and the rest in the neighboring province of Tinhai. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
A woman who bought a vase for $3.99 at a Virginia thrift store just sold it for $107,000. Jessica Vincent said she bought it at a Goodwill outside Richmond, Virginia, because she thought it would look nice in her house. She learned the vase was extremely rare from the Venetian island of Murano, designed by the late architect Carlo Scarpa, sold through the auction house this month.
Thank you for watching. Can you do me a favor? Please leave a comment in the comments section below. That would really help. Thank you, and see you again soon.